Ever since the Mandalorian series first aired on Disney+, there's been a lot of questions as to the fate of the child, otherwise known as Baby Yoda. The mysterious baby of the same species of legendary Jedi Grandmaster Yoda, this adorable little guy has already done many things to cause quite the stir ever since his introduction at the end of the first chapter of Season 1. But one question that perhaps stuck out more than any other is one of the most important things to think about concerning our lovable green friend. Will Baby Yoda turn to the dark side of the Force? In this video, we'll be discussing Baby Yoda's powers and speculating what might happen in the future concerning them. So if you want to find out more about this little green guy and not make him mad, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe and smash that bell icon if you're new, and he will be forever grateful. So we have seen several hints throughout the show that imply a darker side to Baby Yoda, but one could argue that it's all a result of his inexperienced youth. If we look at scenes that hint to something darker brewing within Baby Yoda, we could consider it a potential beginning to an evil future, as much as we could chalk it up to just lack of understanding. So for instance, during a scene in Season 1, Chapter 7, The Reckoning, the Mandalorian and Cara Dune take part in an arm wrestling competition when Baby Yoda suddenly intervenes by using the Force to choke Cara, just like how Darth Vader is seen in the original trilogy. And on first watch, we're not sure how far things will go before Mando stops him, and little Baby Yoda seems pretty adamant to stop Cara from being any kind of threat to his adopted papa. And this action is very reminiscent of the infamous Sith Lord we all love and fear. However, we could very easily surmise that this is just the result of Baby Yoda not really knowing what was going on, which would make perfect sense given his young age, even though again, he is technically 50 years old, or should we say 50 years young. And on more than one occasion, we have been given a glimpse into the greater scope of the child's power in the Force, and are left with questions as to truly how powerful he could become in future seasons. From the lifting of the Mudhorn to his immense deflection of fire to save Mando in the first season finale, Baby Yoda has shown that he is capable of achieving a great deal with his Force powers. But still, we can't help but wonder what will happen in the future. Right now, he is just a child, but it won't always be that way. And it looks like it'll be ultimately up to our Mandalorian to ensure that he stays on a good path as he gets older and perhaps even begins to train in the Force. We can also assume that he will show more of his gradually unfurling powers in Season 2, and at this point, it's difficult to know exactly how they will manifest for him. Will he be turned more towards the darker use of the Force as he gets older, or will Mando be able to steer him towards the light? Will Baby Yoda be able to control this power, or will Mando find himself scrambling to safety every time Baby Yoda gets hungry? Not being a Force user himself, it might be difficult for Mando to relate to the child in this way, and Baby Yoda will doubtlessly have his own unique story to tell as time goes on. Now, one thing that we can take as an assurance that Baby Yoda has some inherent good within him is when he heals a mortally wounded Greef Karga after he is attacked in Season 1, Chapter 7. We can assume that he chose to do this because he recognized Greef as a friend to the Mandalorian and just chose to save him out of good nature. Now, this could also be just the result of his inability to differentiate between friend and foe and willingness to help anyone in need, but his actions up until this point contradict this and has given us reason to consider just how conscious his choices actually may be. There's also the question of what the Imperial Remnant wants the child for. Perhaps they plan to have him trained in the dark side, or even worse, have him cloned and trained to produce an army of powerful Baby Yodas. All of them powerful in the dark side. It might sound fantastical, but these could all be plausible ideas to consider, and we should not forget for 1 minute that the Imperial Remnant has not given up trying to take him. And one thing is for certain, we know that right now our beloved Baby Yoda is in a safe place under the protection of the noble Mandalorian, and for the time being, we know he will stay on the path of good under Mando's understanding and sometimes not so subtle guidance. But who knows what will happen in the seasons to follow? Will he always be under the protection of the Mandalorian, or will the Imperial Remnant find a way to take him and corrupt him to join the dark side? We can only wait and see as we watch his future with great interest. What do you think will happen in Baby Yoda's future? Be sure to tell us in the comments, and remember to like and subscribe to our channel. And until next time, may the Force be with you, always.